Hi, I'm Melissa with RodgerandMelissa.com, and today we're going to unpack the top 4 things we need to be aware of in order to be in step with our common sense. Now, this is not a scientific explanation. This is just good old-fashioned common sense stuff. But we need to master and pay attention to all 4 in order to harness the power and propel our success. Let's jump right in. Common sense tells us that we will not produce the desired results if we go in with our guns a-blazing or an attitude of you need this and I have it. No good ever comes from putting people on the defensive. Yet in our breakthrough sessions, we see so many people approach their businesses as if they are on one side of the fence and their prospective clients are on the other, and they need to dazzle and convince them or tear them down about their current strategies and situation and try to dazzle them with their brilliance as to why they need to climb the fence and join them. When I hear some people talk, I picture a drill sergeant commanding newbies to scale the wall. No one wants to feel forced or coerced or belittled. They want you to open the gate, come beside them and guide them through. So first, be aware of the situation they are in, the atmosphere, and who you are talking to. Take the time to really get to know the prospective client, their needs and their wants. Understand what their reservations are or may be. Watch for signals of agreement or possible disagreement or objections and address them. Don't get so caught up in your sales presentation or standard mode of operation that you miss the sale. You want to create an atmosphere for the prospective customer of understanding. Give them confidence in your solution and inspire them to make a favorable decision. That brings us to the second common sense strategy of being attuned to the other person's pain. The more you understand them, the better you can craft your message in terms of what they perceive they need at that moment. You may have 10 reasons why your program, service, or product is perfect for them, but they are laser focused in on 1 or 2 pain points that they want relief from right now. You need to understand this and speak directly to those issues, feelings, and desires first. Think of it this way. If your son or daughter or a friend was really sad because of something had gone wrong in a relationship, and you know as an outsider looking in that their own actions and words were a major contributor to that issue, part of you would want to point those out to them so that they see it, learn from it, and not do it the next time. But common sense tells us we just need to comfort them, their immediate need. All they can focus on is that moment in their pain. So we comfort them first. Once that is passed, there will be plenty of time to have a conversation about the rest. Your prospective client has a pain point, realized or not. Address that need first, that pain only first. The other benefits of your products and your service will be icing on the cake that they will experience in time. Number 3, be keenly aware of being seen as reasonable and flexible. Sales occur when both sides are in agreement that the proposed solution is reasonable and effective. This requires a conversation, not a one-side argument or persuasion. Ask them questions, then provide a response that will satisfy their need for the solution with a reasonable next step. Make sure that you pay close attention to the questions they are asking, determine the why the question is being asked, and address that. It might change the trajectory of your presentation. Don't keep talking about your next step if it's not what's reasonable for them. If you start heading down one lane and they go a different way, they shift. Ask them what they believe is a good next step. It's all about giving them a choice. Show them that you don't have a set agenda, but rather that you are flexible and want to make sure that as you move forward with them together, it's exactly what they need. See, common sense saves us from taking bad next steps. We all automatically, internally calculate every day as we make hundreds of small decisions. It is our common sense that keeps us safe and on track. Well, your prospective client has common sense as well. Their internal voice will be in high gear, trying to see if what you are presenting makes sense and is reasonable. That's their common sense in action. Whether we realize it or not, that internal voice is something we all pay attention to. Do we look both ways before crossing a street? Do we undress before we get in the shower? Do we mix up the batter before we put the cake in the oven? Of course we do. Common sense tells us to do things, as my mom would say, decently and in order. That is what they're expecting from you. A decent and orderly, reasonable next step. If you're truly trying to find a reasonable solution to what their issues are, even if it requires you backing off and providing a connection for a different outcome than you desire, you win. They will remember who got them to the next step, even if the solution was found elsewhere. They will come back to you again and send others to you. And finally, last but certainly not least, is your ability to present yourself in a confident manner and be aware of how that affects your prospective buyer. Before they buy your product or your service, they buy you. So being aware of how you carry yourself, how you present the information, how you show the confidence and belief that what you have in your product and service is vital to the transference of that feeling that your buyers wants. Be aware of how you are presenting yourself and the information. Are you being pushy or seeming desperate for a sale? Do you like buying from people like that? Well, no. Why would they? Or do you prefer to do business with someone who is confident, knows how to get things accomplished, and you can feel as in their gut have your best interest at heart? Be that person. Common sense says you can't be all things to all people, so don't try. Present yourself and your information and solutions to them based on their needs and wants. Provide a reasonable option for a next step. Guide them to understand why you believe it is a great option for them, and then let them decide. Nothing that I have spoken of today is rocket science, but it does take some thought and introspection. Once you really know yourself and your product or your service and take the time to practice the art of paying attention to your surroundings, tapping into your common sense, you will see a shift in your sales numbers. Now, we would love to know your challenges when it comes to the impact and influence that you have in your market. What can we help you with? Do you need a breakthrough, an aha moment? We can schedule some time. Let us know in the comments or contact us directly. Check out this video on 7 common denominators to selling anything and hop over to the website for a great follow-up strategy blueprint that you can implement into your business today. So don't forget, take care of you, take care of your business.